Papercrafters, welcome. Today I bring you 4 articulated figures. Steve, Mikecrack, and Alex, moving as you can see right now. Pay close attention to the articulations shown in this shot. Useful links and notes are in the description. Now I start cutting the pieces, leaving a margin of almost half a centimeter from the edge. I do this so that when I glue them onto cardstock, the final cut is easier and I don't waste glue. I carefully cut piece by piece until all the parts are ready like this. Now we glue the pieces onto the cardstock. Here you can see how I glue the head piece. I recommend working fairly quickly since the glue dries fast. And also not using too much because the paper can get damp and warp. Just do it exactly as you see on screen. With all the pieces already glued onto cardstock, except for the tubes, which I'll explain later. We trim everything again, almost right up to the edge, leaving just a few millimeters. This makes the final cut much easier and helps avoid mistakes. As you can see, all the pieces are now prepared this way. And as I mentioned before, the tubes are not glued onto cardstock because it's not necessary. This model is designed so the tubes are made only of paper. If they were cardstock, they would be too thick and wouldn't fit properly. As you just saw, I've made the final cut on the tubes and the circles. Now I start cutting carefully along the edge of the head. I control the angles and finishes so the borders come out clean and precise. Look at that finish. Here are all the pieces ready for the next step. I start folding each tab carefully, making sure every fold is as clean as possible. To get a neat result, I use a ruler and press gently while marking each fold, so all the tabs are perfectly aligned. Once the head piece is fully folded and neat, I repeat exactly the same process with all the other pieces, making sure every fold is well marked and every edge aligned, so the final assembly looks clean and precise. Now we prepare the articulation tubes, which are a very important part of the model. I roll the smallest tube first, applying strong pressure so it's very tight. Then I roll the thicker tube over the smaller one. This way the joint slides smoothly but doesn't come loose. This is the base of durable articulations. Next, I open the tabs on the tube to place the circles and glue them at the center of the tube. These circles act as stops to keep everything in place. Repeat this process with all the tubes. The arm tube is smaller, but it's made exactly the same way, just adjusted in size. Using the craft knife, I cut the X shape on the head so the tube can go in and allow rotation. I also open the inner hole of the special arm using the knife. Scissors can't enter unless we open it first. After that, I clean the edges with scissors. And now both arms are ready for assembly. On the torso, I cut the radial lines that form the circle. This is where the tubes will go. Always do this carefully using a craft knife. I use a wooden stick to open and separate the tabs of the circle, so the tube can slide in easily. I trim the tab lines of the torso with scissors. I didn't do this earlier because cutting the radial lines first reduces the risk of overcutting. It's better to do this step now with more control. Here are the pieces and tabs ready for assembly. We assemble the shoulder by inserting the tube from the back, using the circle as a stop. I reinforce it with a small drop of hot glue for extra strength. We glue the main tabs first, then the small shoulder tabs to lock the shape. Press gently and wait a few seconds for it to set. Here I glue the top flap of the arm, then the small inner tabs. I push carefully, keeping everything neat, and finish fitting the piece until it locks perfectly in place. Notice how the two have fit together. Now both arm sections are ready. Now we assemble the special arm. I glue one side, glue again, and close the final tabs. Work slowly so everything stays aligned. Done. The special arm can now hold a sword without any problem. I assemble the thigh by first making a fold to help alignment, then inserting a piece into the joint hole to apply glue from the inside. This gives a cleaner and stronger finish. Then I insert the stick through the leg hole to apply glue internally, since at this stage it's no longer possible to glue from the outside. The feet are assembled in a similar way to the special arm, but they don't hold objects. So I decided not to include that mechanism since it's not necessary. As you can see, the leg pieces are now assembled and ready for final assembly. We assemble the hip section by gluing tabs and flaps to form the base for the torso and legs. Then we seal the tabs using the parts that will hold the torso and legs, making sure everything stays aligned and secure. This is how the hip piece looks finished. Now we assemble the torso. First, we glue the small folds, making sure none of them slip out. Then, using the stick, we push and secure the tabs firmly, so we can glue the top part with better precision. This is how the torso looks once fully assembled and solid. Here you can see the head unassembled and then assembled. I don't show the process because it's the same as the previous pieces. Now we continue with the tube assembly, which is essential for the articulations. I insert the thicker tube first, then the thinner one inside. This forms the thigh articulation system. I repeat the same process carefully with both arms, both shoulders, and the torso, making sure each piece is correctly placed and ready for final assembly. I apply hot glue to the torso to secure the head tube and place it carefully. All pieces now have their tubes installed. I connect the thighs to the feet by gluing at the circular stops, which secures the connection. Look how smooth the movement is now. Here are both legs finished, and you can see how the long tube connects them, allowing synchronized movement. Check the rotations and bends to see if any adjustments are needed. The arms are assembled in the same way as the legs, following the same steps, with a small difference I explain here. I fit the arm into the shoulder and glue it the same way as the feet, making sure everything is aligned. Then I glue the legs to the hip, securing the tabs firmly. Now I connect the torso to the hip and test basic movements. I place the arm with the thicker tube first, then insert the inner tube. Finally, I attach the head and check the rotation and posture. And that's it. The finished figure can now hold a sword and shield securely. The sword and shield templates are not mine. I'll leave credit to their creators in the description. Comparing models, the previous one only had 5 articulations. This one has 12, giving much more movement in the shoulders, torso, elbows, and knees, allowing many different poses. Here I show some older models to demonstrate how the techniques have evolved over time. I also show a 10 articulation figure by Rotter Booster, one of the first in this style, as reference. And here you can see the other figures of the same model with different skins. Dream, Mikecrack, and Alex, all with the same articulation system. This shows that with a single template, you can create many different versions. Now we return to the Steve we built in this video, with its 12 fully functional articulations. As you can see, it moves much more freely and allows many more poses. This is the final result of the entire process you watch step by step. If you enjoyed this project and want to see more articulated Minecraft paper crafts, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.